Hi you guys, so today we are going to do this amazing recipe that I've been eating for like the past few days. It's been so bomb, and it is like a spicy garlic tomato chipotle pasta, and it's really creamy, so it's like really saucy. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait for you guys to try this out. And for those of you that are picky like me, this recipe is actually going to be gluten-free, and it does have some fat, so it's not going to be fat-free. So this is one of those dishes that I don't indulge in all the time, but I definitely treat myself. So let's just get into it because it's actually fairly easy and it doesn't take too long to cook. But I'm hungry, so let's get this thing going. So before we get into the ingredients, I wanted to talk to you about a few different pastas that you can use. So obviously I do gluten-free, so I'm using brown rice noodles, and so these ones are really good. I've tried these ones out already, and this is the pad thai rice noodles. So this is what they look like. I got these from the 365 Whole Foods store. Great. And the texture is just really, really good. And so the other ones that I have are the Jovial Inherently Good 100% Organic Brown Rice Pasta. These are like the little bow ties. Love these two. The texture really reminds me of like wheat pasta. So for both of these, actually, that's why I chose these, and I wanted to share these brands with you guys because these ones work really, really well, and they don't get like very mushy or anything like that. And the texture is just like, I don't even feel like I'm missing any gluten. I have some limes. This is going to be for taste, for afterwards. You don't have to have them, but they're great. And then you want to have about 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. If you love garlic like me, you'll add a little bit extra. I have that 100% just tomato paste. We have 1 whole onion. I like the red onion. That's just kind of what I have on hand. You can use whatever kind you'd like. I just wouldn't do a sweet onion. And then so for spiciness, here is where we have the peppers. So if you don't want yours to be spicy, you can use a bell pepper. But this dish calls for some flavor. Now, if you don't want your spicy, just use 1 jalapeno or 2, and definitely taste the jalapeno before you cook it, because if it's too hot for you and you make the dish, it's going to be really spicy. Okay, so as far as vegetables go, these are the zucchini squash, and then I have some broccoli. Now, you don't have to use these specific vegetables, but I suggest definitely broccoli, but you can use any other type of like vegetable if you'd like in replace of the zucchini squash, or any other kind of squash you'd like. These are just what I have on hand, and they taste great in this recipe. And then I have a few tomatoes. So you want enough tomatoes to make a blend of 4 cups of tomato sauce, of just blended tomatoes. So these are just regular tomatoes, and I'll make 4 cups worth in the blender. So you also have here 2 cups of coconut cream. Now I am making a large batch, so this is a really big batch. So you can split all of this in half based off of my recipe if you want to make less servings. These are optional, you don't have to, but these are oyster mushrooms. So we're going to use these as well to kind of make it a little meaty, to, you know, have some little amazing oyster mushrooms in there. So we have turmeric, chipotle powder. I got this at Sprouts in like the whole herb section, or like the section where they have all of the herbs that you can just kind of like get by the pound. And then I have some ground black pepper, smoked paprika, thyme. This is cumin. I have some ground coriander, some onion powder, and some pink Himalayan sea salt. All right, so let's get started. Some grapeseed oil here, and we're just gonna put a little dash, okay? That much. Now, if you're not using oil and you're like doing some cleansing and stuff, that's totally understandable. You don't have to use any oil. You can use a little bit of water and like kind of like water fry it. So we are going to put the onions in the oil, and we are going to put the stove on medium heat, and then we are going to let them simmer and cook down until they're like translucent. So I have that on medium. I'm going to start putting these onions in there. Okay, so the onions are on, and now we are going to cut up the garlic or peel them, and then you can either mince them or crush them and put them in there as well. Your girl love her some garlic. I mean, if there was a vampire around, they ain't gonna get me. So everything's in here. I put the garlic, the peppers, the mushrooms, and the onions. So I'm gonna let this cook down a little bit, and I'm gonna start adding some spices. 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 3 tablespoons of chipotle powder, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of coriander, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and a little less than a tablespoon or teaspoon of sea salt. So this is on low while I was adding the spices, and you can just mix it all up here. And then let's add the tomatoes. So we're gonna blend those up and then add those and let them cook with the spices. It doesn't need to be pureed completely, but just enough to kind of make it chunky and saucy. So here it is, all pureed up, and that is our sauce kind of starting to cook. So we're going to pour that in there, and then we're going to do another 2 cups. And we have our other 2 cups. And we're going to stir this up. And let that simmer down and cook together. Okay, so next we're going to add the coconut cream. I love this one from Trader Joe's because there's literally 2 ingredients: organic coconut, why did I say it like that? Organic coconut and water. All of these other ones in the other stores have like a lot of weird ingredients. I don't want any preservatives or anything like that in my food, so I don't use that, and I use this brand. There is another brand, I forgot what brand it's called, that I find at the Asian store sometimes that also does have the coconut cream. But anyways, if you can't find coconut cream, what you can do is buy the coconut milk, and then you let it sit in the fridge, and the coconut cream will actually rise to the top, and you can scoop that out and put that in. So that's another way you can do it. But I have the straight coconut cream, so I'm going to pour 2 of these cans in there. I know this is a lot of coconut cream, but it's for a really large batch, so let's go. Here's how it looks, and we are going to pour that in there. Ooh, you're going to watch the color change to like a nice orange. Next one's going in. Okay, now let's give that a nice stir. You guys, it smells so divine. And now I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. And we're going to cut up the vegetables and throw those in there so they can cook. Another thing that I want to note here, for those of you that are thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't want my pasta to taste like coconut. The coconut cooks off, I swear to you. I've had people try it just to give me an idea if they could taste it, because I know I couldn't taste it. I thought I was tripping. But like, you literally cannot taste it. So it just tastes creamy, and oh my god. Oh my gosh, I just want to eat some right now. I'm like getting impatient. But it basically cooks off. I don't know how. I think it has something to do with the acid in the tomatoes, and then also all of the other spices, but super bomb. So I just wanted to note that for those of you that are like, we're going to use coconut milk. For those of you that don't like coconut. Coconut's actually super bomb. Anyways, let's move on. Cut these vegetables up. all in here, and now we want it to cook. So like I said, I still have it on medium heat, and it is going to be bomb. So we want to cook these until they're soft. So now while this is cooking, I'm gonna put the noodles on, and then we will be able to eat, my friends. Pasta is gonna be so bomb. I'm telling you. It's even good like with rice. It's good with, I mean, if you want to add beans or legumes to it, like it's so good. You would love it on anything. The vegetables are nice and soft, like not too soft, but soft enough. I'm gonna take them off the heat, and I'm waiting for my water to boil. You could have started this a little bit earlier, but I have it on high, so it should only take a few minutes. I'm going to pour these in there, and it should only take about 5 minutes for them to cook. So I'm gonna wait for those to cook. I'm obviously gonna move these down with my spoon in a second. So they're in there. Still got a few more minutes, but just remember, these cook really fast. You don't want them to get mushy. Now, I haven't allowed them to get mushy ever, and I haven't noticed that with these specific kind, but just in case, keep an eye on them. Okay, so now you'll be able to see how it looks like pasta now. So we gotta take them out ASAP. So I took them out, and now we are going to pour the pasta sauce on top of these noodles. For example, I used a little bit of these last time just to test them out, the cassava penne, and it's not bad, but to be honest, the texture isn't great, and I wouldn't use it again. I'll use them and you just so they don't go to waste, but they're not my favorite at all. I wanted to note, if you're unsure about the noodles, taste them before you take them out, because the texture should taste like pasta. It shouldn't be too hard, and it shouldn't be mushy. It's perfect. So for these noodles, if you have to, for some reason, have them sit for a little bit, you could dab a little bit of oil on them so that they don't stick together, and a little bit of sea salt or whatever you want to do if you want to season yours or not. But that will basically keep them from sticking together and getting all clumpy. Okay, so I got a big spoon here. Look how amazing this looks. And we are going to just pour it over the noodles. Now you can make this as saucy as you want. The more you let it sit, it's gonna get a little bit thicker. But you can make it thicker, you can make it soupy, like however you want. It just tastes out of this world. Now this is gonna add a little bit, you know, more flavor. I got some cilantro here, and then I have some key limes, but you can use lemon juice as well, and I'm gonna squeeze the juice on there. Make sure you grab those seeds out afterwards. Okay, you guys, so I have it here. I don't know if you can see it very well. Ooh, I'll show you guys like one from here. Let's see, I'll show you guys the view. Look at this. Now, I'm actually gonna squeeze some lemon on here, because last time I used lemon and I liked the lemon a lot better. Those limes weren't giving me as much juice, but this is gonna just give it that oomph. I've been tasting already, you guys. I'm so ready to eat this. It's hot in here though, and it's a little spicy, so I'm kind of sweating. But you guys, see that smoke coming from there? It's so good. It, for some reason, reminds me of like this sourness of like having like a pasta with clams from when I was like not vegan. Because it has like that wine kind of taste with the lemon, with the tomatoes and the onions and the garlic that are like really, really pungent, but like in a good way, and it's so creamy. Oh my gosh. Yep, the lemon. Do it. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's just so good. You're gonna want to eat it every night. No lie. And like I said, it's pretty trippy how like you cannot taste the coconut. The chipotle is like amazing too, because it adds like this smokiness to it that and you can use a ton of other vegetables, but don't forget the broccoli, because I feel like the broccoli does something to it too. Like the broccoli and the creamy sauce reminds me like cheddar broccoli or something. Woo, honey, your girl is hot. And mine made mine pretty spicy, so it's over here clearing my sinuses, you feel me? But it's so good. You're gonna love it. Yes, I know my lipstick's coming off, but listen, we ain't trying to be cute while we eating, okay? Especially because this stuff is so fire and you're gonna be like slurping it all on your face. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you make it. It's definitely like, if you're trying to turn somebody on to some vegan food, this is it right here, boo. Well, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you like this video so that I can do more like this, and I will see you guys next time. Love you.